Welcome to the BioClean Unfiltered podcast. I'm Rhea Toles, as you know, and I'm so excited for this episode because my friend Christie Thompson is here. She's Regional Vice President of Arbonne. She's an amazing mother, a single mother, and she's just been a great influence for me because I just started my own Arbonne health and wellness business. And I wanted her to come on and share her thoughts, her journey, how she does life and leadership, all the things. So welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited. I'm always so excited every time, but this one's so cool because I feel like this is Christie's moving. And so I scheduled this on purpose because you're going away podcast from us community members because you're so big in our community. You're so, you do so much that it's just, people are going to watch this be like, oh, Christie's leaving, and it's just, it's like not a goodbye, but like see you later kind of deal, right?
It's a new chapter.
It's a new chapter for you. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. Yeah. The kids are excited. I'm excited.
Can you say where you're moving?
Yeah, I'm going to Franklin, Tennessee. So it's a big move. We're actually going to go through 13 states on our little travel down there. Yeah. I'm excited about that, though. I'm going to see some things. The kids are going to see some things we've never seen before. And what a great opportunity. Things you don't get to do this all the time. So why not?
It's so amazing for you guys. And the way you talk about it, you just glow up. You're so excited for this change. And I want to talk more about it because this is going to be something that's life-changing for you and the kids.
Definitely.
But for the better, for the best.
I think so. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. It's not been a decision made lightly. It's been in the works for a long time, but just honestly, I've been really strong in my faith and been really prayerful throughout the whole process and knowing okay, where am I supposed to be? Where are we supposed to live this next chapter? And the great thing is if we're called to go somewhere beyond that, that's okay. We're not stuck anywhere we are. And I think a lot of people feel like that sometimes. I've heard that a lot. People are like, oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I could fill in the blank. It could be with business, moving, whatever it is. And my gut instinct inside is you can.
I know.
You can. Right. And I don't think enough people take ownership of they really can make changes if they want to.
And you're such an inspiration to me because of that. I preach a lot about that too. We're all capable of doing anything we want, but you are really a true testament with your journey. So I want to go with that. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah. I won't start at the very beginning, but I have worked in different backgrounds before. But really when I stepped into Arbonne and health and wellness and just overall, I really felt at home and a passion grew within me that I didn't know existed, to be honest. And so it's more than just helping people. I think a lot of people in different industries, they will say, oh, well, we help people do X, Y, Z. And I feel the same way, but it's just different for me when I was able to start helping people in this fashion and knowing that I'm helping people truly change their lives on a health standpoint because it's more and more people are understanding how important that is. But then on the business and life side, most people aren't going to bed at night wishing they had eaten more protein. Oh my gosh, I'm really stressed out.
My greens.
Exactly.
No, we don't.
I mean, that's something that's important and we are concerned about that on some level, but really people are worried about how they're going to pay their bills. They're worried about how they're going to send their kids to, a school they want them to go to or pay for their daughter's wedding or how they're going to pay the electric bill. I mean, there's all different things. That's what keeps people up at night. And I feel just really convicted to help more people discover there's other ways other than the traditional kind of 9 to 5 that we're sort of cornered into taking a lot of times. And there's other things out there.
And that's so true what you said about how passionate you are. You are so passionate about your business, your lifestyle. I mean, everything you do really. But for me, when I just started Arbonne, right? I just loved how passionate everybody is about the company and the products and the lifestyle of wellness because nobody talks about wellness anymore, right? I mean, if they do, it's it just doesn't seem so authentic. And I feel like the journey and the stories that I hear about it with the women that are into it are so authentic. And it's and it makes you want to do that. You know what I mean? And so something about it and something about how you share this story is very Gosh, that's true. Right. What you're saying is actually true. Some people you're like, okay, whatever, I'll try it. But really, it's true what you're saying because you really believe in it.
I do. Yeah. I really do. And it's just when it comes from an authentic place, I think people can feel that.
And then talking about like the business side of it, because it's hard for us to say, I don't want to do this 9-to-5 job. I want to be in sales, right? And to rely on commissions of sales and all these things. What led you to make that decision for yourself? Because you're a mom, you have 2 small kids. I mean, what was that made you be like, I'm all in, like, this is it?
Yeah, that's a good question. It didn't start that way.
Yeah. No,
I was working for a builder in real estate at the time when I was introduced to Arbonne. And this to me was, I was looking for something products wise to make me feel better. And I absolutely fell in love with the products after completely discounting everything my best friend was telling me about the products, because I was convinced it wasn't going to do anything different from anything else I'd tried. So I was very skeptical when because
you were already healthy as it was, right?
I would say I was so. I thought I was healthier than I probably was.
Okay.
But I was tired. I was exhausted. My daughter was, 1 to 2 years old when I was really focused on finding something. And it wasn't until she was about 3 that I started using the Arbonne products, and I felt a huge difference right away. And so I knew there was something different about this company. I started researching it and finding out why their products were so different and why nothing had made me feel that good before. At that point, I was willing to step into the business side simply because I wanted to pay it forward. I wanted other people to know what else is out there, because there was other me's out there who thought they had tried all the things, but they hadn't tried this. And so for me, that was just, it wasn't a business decision. It was just other people are out there just like me. It gives me chills actually thinking about it, because I remember that feeling like it was yesterday. And so making that decision of like, I want to help more people. It wasn't to be, I want to stay home with my babies and have a full-time income. That didn't even cross my mind, to be honest, at first. When I started to create some income and I just saw that this was a real thing, that's when, with the coaching and like the leaders that were in the business with me were believing in me, saying, you know what you could do with this, and really casting vision. Then I started creating that vision for myself, because I believed they believed in me. Yeah. Right. It's not about someone necessarily believing in themselves, but do you believe I believe in you? That's all we need, right? We need just to believe someone else's belief a little bit. We can borrow their belief. And that's what happened. And so when I leaned into that and discovered what the opportunity could provide through effort and work and just being consistent, and nothing actually hard, it was just being consistent. That was like the little thing for me that was like, I can actually do this and see if I can create something additional. Again, it wasn't necessarily to replace my income, but I soon saw that it could with consistent work and effort. And so, of course, as the
how long
as
did
the
it
years
take
went
for
by,
you for that to turn? Like,
I think it was 22 months in the business, and then I did not have to go back to my full-time job after my 6 months at home with my son, right? He was new baby, and I was home for 6 months with him. I didn't have to go back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fast.
It was a huge blessing. I wasn't the fastest. I'm not the slowest. You can go to our website to see what's difficult, right?
Totally.
But I definitely felt that there was a calling on my life to help others and to do more than what maybe I thought I was capable of. Right.
And is that, because they always say, what's your why, right? Your why, is that what's your why story? Was that
very much my kids? I mean, at the time it was just my daughter, right? She was 3. I just wanted time with her. I was working a job before real estate that I was my boss told me they couldn't even guarantee me one weekday evening off a week. I said, can I have Mondays off so I can have swimming lessons with her? Can you just tell me one night that I will not have to be at a meeting, at an event, at something, so I can just plan one thing with my little girl? They could not do that. And at that point I was like, how can I do this? How can I be a mom and be, a successful business person in that particular space? Yeah. And so when I walked away from that, it was to have more time freedom for my family. I had it a little more with the next job, but I was working then weekends and holidays. And so it still didn't feel very aligned. I felt like it was a good stepping stone, but then really Arbonne was like that really magic thing, that little key piece that I was waiting for, that was like, this is where you can build a life of your design. Like, you get to have your family time and you work your business around your family time instead of the opposite. Yes, and that to me was like, you're saying, oh my gosh.
Because I love that you're saying that, because it's so hard right now in childcare.
Yes.
It's so expensive. I had kids a long time ago, and if I told you what I paid, you'd be like, what? But that to me was expensive.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like this, anything for me out there like this. And it's so important that you say that, because we feel like we have to work to pay for those things, where no, you work to do it and to enjoy life. And then, your business can work around that, right? Like your family and all the things, because we get lost in, a lot of women especially get lost in their 9 to 5, in their income, and they have to make this to pay the bills, where it's like, it can be the other way around. It can. Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you won't necessarily do this alongside something until it builds to that level, because that's exactly what most people do. Yeah. But I think what I wish more, especially women, people in general, but women especially would kind of realize is, if you're willing to work, 8 hours a day plus the commute time. So then that could be, 12 hours away from home to work for someone else's dream. Why would you not be willing to work 2 hours a day for your own? Like, just coming up with that. There's so many excuses that we can make. And I was one of them.
Oh, me too.
Of like, why I can't do this or I can't do that. And if you want to find an excuse, you will find it. But if you want to find the reason, you can definitely find that too. So it's all about what you're focusing on.
Totally. Well, can you share some of your secret, what habits have you had the greatest impact on your business that you're doing?
Yeah.
I'd love to know that too.
I read a book called The Miracle Morning. I don't know if you've read that.
I have too. Yes.
Okay. Well, that made a huge impact in my life, because I really implemented all the steps. I'm not going to go through and share all those, but if you read that book, he does do a great job of it. Just talking about what, key morning routines are that help set up your day, right? And I have been very consistent in all of the things he talks about.
Me too.
For years.
I love that you read that.
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh.
I did the journal and everything.
Yeah, same. I really love it. And there's different, you can get like Miracle Morning for network marketers, or Miracle Morning for, and then they have different ones like catered to whatever maybe you're looking for specifically. I've read the general one and, others, and they all add value, even if you read them multiple times. So that to me was a game changer for my routine. I feel even today, if it's a Saturday morning even, and I'm sleeping in with the kids or something, if I don't have time to cut out and do those things in the morning, my day feels off. I don't feel as productive. Like, I need those things, and it's nothing hard, but it just sets your mindset right. So I think that's kind of my first thing that I can definitely say make an impact, and I do that every day.
That's self-care.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
Take time to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. It just sets your day up for your business as well. And then I would just say, like, even though things can be difficult, like, we all have our own hard, like we all go through different things, right? But leaning into just being consistent is like the biggest habit, I would say, that has made such a huge change for me. Because we don't always have motivation. We don't always have, inspiration to be at our 110% effort level. But what are our things, non-negotiables every day that you're going to, work-wise and personal-wise? Like, what are you, maybe that's going to the gym 6 days a week. Maybe that's, maybe that's just a gratitude journal. I mean, it could be lots of things, right? But for my business, I have my non-negotiables. My head does not hit my pillow at night until they're done. And even if I'm not, highly motivated that day, or I've had a hard day, or things have happened and life is life and all the things, I still have that commitment. And that has been one of the biggest shifts because of that habit just alone, just having that consistency. Because once you're consistent,
it becomes a habit.
Yes.
And like Josh and I were talking about that the other day, the drinks we do with Arbonne and all the things. Yeah. We literally don't even think about it anymore. We're just like, because, and he made a point, these are now habits for us and it's working for us.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right. Because a lot of times people, I forgot to do that. But if you just really commit and make it, the little things like that, it does become good for you. Yeah,
for sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I know Arbonne, people say it's network marketing. It's an MLM. It's a pyramid scheme.
Like, that's my favorite.
We're all getting arrested tomorrow. I always joke about that. But how do you handle, especially in this business, rejection? Because, you know, you get that a lot in any business. I'm sorry,
Right.
but, you know, the comments and like also, what do you think is the most misunderstanding people get with network marketing too?
Those are great questions and things that I didn't even understand.
Yeah,
right,
and I want to bring that up because people have a misconception, and I don't think it's true, but you know, it's had a bad rap. I don't know why.
Yeah,
you know, for years.
I think that a lot of the negativity, shall we say, is from maybe either a singular experience someone has had or they heard a story about something. There was, there's different companies, and I'm not going to put anyone on blast.
Sure.
But there's companies in every industry that do things poorly.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
There are poor doctors out there.
yeah.
There are, teachers that aren't great. Every industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a lot of amazing doctors and there's a lot of amazing teachers. But for some reason in network marketing, if there's one negative one, it seems to put a bad connotation on everyone else. And so my first gut instinct is, I am so sorry you've had a bad experience, and I'm like, what? Tell me about that. So that I can understand maybe where their, thoughts are coming from. Because a lot of times it can be like, well, I just heard this, that, and the other. And so my number one goal is to educate somebody on well, I really don't know how this company or that company does business, but I can share my experience from Arbonne. And the pyramid scheme cracks me up because pyramid schemes are illegal. And it's basically when you're investing in a company and there's
it's
no
not like
product.
asking them, give me let me invest it in stocks for you or there's some weird.
Yeah. And it's what happens there is you're investing in a company. There's no actual product exchange.
Bernie Madoff is
all different things. And those are now illegal, right? Yeah. And so there was a lot of that, back in the day of different companies doing it wrong. And so I think even though that's not what many network marketing companies, they aren't that. But that's still in people's minds, or they heard a story from their parents or from a friend or other things. And so it's just in their mind. They don't even necessarily know where it came from, but it's just in their mind. The other thing that I don't think people realize is how the actual company structure works. And I think that's important as well, because if you think about a car salesman or a lot that people buy cars from, there's lots of salespeople out there and there's a sales manager, right? Well, the sales manager, his job is to make sure his sales team is successful, right? So he is going to help them. He's going to encourage them. He's going to help train them. And he's also incentivized for how well his team does. Network marketing is the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah. You have individuals who are, trained and coached by those that have been doing it longer, that are essentially, not a direct manager, because we're all individually, essentially, we're 1099 essentially, employees. But we don't have a boss in this. However, we have leaders, we have guidance, we have all of the training necessary for anyone who wants it. And for those that are doing the coaching and the training, they're getting compensated when their team is successful. And it doesn't take away
business.
Yes, exactly. And so it doesn't take away. It doesn't take away from what the individual is earning. It's just in addition to. And so I just try to educate people a little bit more on that. And the second part that I hear sometimes is, these companies are taking advantage of people. And I kind of laugh a little bit, because personally in my life, I don't know any weak and vulnerable women who are just going to sit back and, be taken advantage of. I surround myself by really strong women who are, know what they want, and if they're doing this business, they're excited to create a life for them and their family. And who am I to judge, or any of us to judge, how they'd want to earn a living for their family?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so why not encourage them? I would much rather buy a product from someone who's trying to pay for dance lessons for their daughter versus, support a corporate company that's going to their millions and millions or billions of their bottom line,
totally,
And so if it's a product that works for me, it's a good, quality, and it's supporting my friend, why not?
Yeah. I get that a lot. I get a lot of people being like, oh, what are you selling now? And it's like, we're selling all over the place. All different kinds of things. This is actually good for you, products, but also people get so wary of what we're, network marketing and sales in general. I mean, even car salesmen people talk about. It just feels, I feel like people have to understand, like you were just saying, what it is, the product, the company, the incentive plan, because I always get the comment, oh my gosh, client registration, does that mean I have to buy something every month.
Like a subscription.
I'm like, I'm sorry you had that experience, because they were to say, well, I've had that experience. I didn't know I was signing up on something, and then it kept charging my card.
That's frustrating.
And I'm like, no, that's not
right
at all.
It's just education, right? Again, it goes back to education and helping others, and really just, teaching them what we do or what our company does.
And you're so educated. And I love that about you and your business, because when you went to the S&W meeting and talked, I was like, and I haven't joined yet. I was like, oh, you didn't talk about Arbonne. You talked about health and wellness and putting good things in your body. And I was watching people, and they're just like, oh my gosh, we're putting that in our body. But I love that. And it comes with education too, and knowing who you're partnering with.
I'm truly passionate about helping people be healthy. Arbonne's a great, simple, easy button to do that, because the products are such a high quality, and they have such a great ingredient policy that I know I don't have to do research for days and days about something. Now, if you want to use Arbonne products, great. Awesome. I can help you. But my ultimate goal is, again, back to education, teaching someone how to, maybe it's just one little habit in their routine that can help them. And if I can give them that, little piece, then I've added value to them in some way. I'm happy. They should be happy. Like it's a mutual beneficial, relationship at that point. And Arbonne is just one way to do that. I don't sell things because I'm like a salesperson, salesy.
Yeah.
I share things that work for me and who've worked for friends and family and other clients of mine. And if I can help solve a problem of yours, I want to share that with you. Just anything else we recommend.
And I think people forget that about sales. To be good in sales, you have to have value to someone's life. You just sell a product, right? You actually have to believe in it and add value. And you do that for sure. And what I love about it too is health and wellness is not talked about enough. Ever is what we're doing in our body, what we're putting in our body, how we can be healthier. Oh yeah, I get we're doing protein, but people are all about no, we're actually talking about why is it good for you? Why is it good to take your green, all the things, why it's good to have good energy in your body. And so I totally am passionate about that, because I feel like the businesses that are out there are not really talking about health and wellness.
There's a lot of quick fixes.
There's so many quick fixes. And what I loved about it, and I learned in our conference, is that this is optimizing your health. It's not a quick fix. It's working with what your body already has. Exactly. And that to me was a game changer, because that's what we need. We need that in our life. We don't need to take these quick fixes to fix this, do the shots, all the things. We actually need to know what we're doing, what we're putting in our body. And it has to be very simple, you know, with what we already have. I love that. Okay. I can just keep going on about it, can't I? Who likes Arbonne? I don't know. Anyway, okay, I'm going to talk about you being a single mother. Okay. What has been so far the biggest challenge building, or what has been the biggest challenge for you building a business now that you are a single mother?
I think that's a great question. Yeah. I think for me, it's been my intentionality. I don't have the luxury of wasting time. And I'm not to say that people that aren't a single mom do have luxury necessarily of like wasting time.
Not a lot.
Everyone is busy, right? Everyone is busy. Everyone talks about how busy they are. And I get that. And I'm not discounting anyone's busy right now. We all have hard things. But for me and my story, I would say there's just a different intentionality that has to have been very present now in my business and just in my life overall. I have to make everything I do worth it. Because if I'm going to take time away from my kids, not that I was ever just leisurely doing that previously, but now it's just different because I have I have a bigger stake. I have more at stake. Just the intentionality of every business call, every phone call, every meeting, every event that I do, every yes I have says no to something else. And I need to make sure that each thing I do has some sort of ROI. And I don't mean dollars and cents, but what is the value I'm adding to someone else or it's adding to me if I'm committing to that instead of doing this. Because if it's not actually adding value to me or I'm not adding value to it or them, then I could be, with my babies. Yeah. Right. Totally. And I'm just very mindful of the intentionality of everything I say yes to. And sometimes that means we have to make hard decisions and close the door on, certain things or relationships or, that aren't serving us anymore. And that's okay. Like, we need to be able to say that this was a great fit for me for a time. But now, like in this chapter, my efforts are best served in this capacity. Yeah. And it's okay to change,
Right.
We're not a tree. We can move. We can change, all these things.
Yeah.
So I think that just for me, it's all about intentionality.
I love that. Oh my God, I love that so much. I totally get that. Not just for being a mother myself, there's just so many other things that I put importance on above other things, and it's okay to say no. Yeah. And I'm a people pleaser. That's my, and it's hard, but it's okay. Yeah. You can do that. So how did becoming a mother influence your goals and your vision for your future? I know you have a big vision right now for your future. And you're talking about being a mother. Is that like that's what you look at being a mom, and this is how I'm going to create that? Or how does that work?
Well, I didn't have a big vision when Kylie was born. She's now 11. Yeah. When she was born, I knew I wanted to be a mom from a very young age. So that was always part of my plan, right? But I didn't realize how passionate I would be about creating a life of design until, she was a couple years old. And then insert Arbonne, and then vision actually,
Say life of design. What do you mean by that?
Life of design just means I get to choose what my days look like. I get to choose, I'm not locked by someone else telling me my worth, my value, how many days I can take off vacation wise or sick days. If I want to design my day, if I want to get up at 10 a.m., I can. If I want to stay up late, I can. If I want to be on my child's field trip, I can without asking permission. Yeah. And I didn't always know what that was going to look like, but I just felt very uneasy about the typical 9 to 5 while I was in that kind of rat race for many years. I worked corporate. I did all the things in the cubicle, and it served its time. It served its purpose. And I learned a lot of lessons, but also learned what I didn't want for the rest of my life.
Right.
And I want to show my kids they can go after their dreams. Yeah. They can live big lives that they can design. And so it's more than just, I want to be home with my kids. And I think a lot of women that I talk to also who want to start, whether it's an Arbonne business or another just business in general, they are fearful of taking time away from their kids. Yeah. And what I would say is, you don't have to take, 12 hours a day away from your kids to start building your dream. However, a little bit of sacrifice can create such a long-term benefit in the long run that your kids are going to thank you for, and you can bless them with a life of for your short season of work and of your commitment. There is sacrifices with everything we do.
Yes, that's so true.
But you have to be willing to put a little bit of sacrifice in there to get that reward. If you want, settle for good if you want. But for me, I'm going for great. Right. So you're going to have to give up the good for the great.
Yeah. You're going for great. Oh, yes, you are. And has there been moments that you've wanted to quit?
Oh, yes.
how do you keep going? Yeah. Your journey is amazing. And I'm sure you've had a lot of moments you wanted to quit. Yeah. Tell me, let's talk about that.
Well, let's talk about the first day. Yeah. I signed up. So at the time there was 2 best friends and I who did everything together. Yeah. Best friend number 1 joined Arbonne in January of 2018. Best friend number 2 joined Arbonne a couple months after that. And I was still very negative about the whole thing. Yeah, I was working my, job and thought that was not going to be, Arbonne was not going to be anything for me.
I'm not doing
right.
That.
And I was like,
I'm
okay, whatever.
Good money. Yeah.
Things started to shift. Things started to change. My mind opened up when I did eventually try some products. I did have some conversations and I did do some research about the company, and I started to see what maybe it could do a little bit for me. And I thought, how fun if the 3 of us besties could do this together and build an amazing life for our families together. I thought that would be amazing. I was excited, and I happened to see best friend number 2 at an event that night, and I came to her so excited to share, I did it. I started my business. We're going to do this together. And she looked at me straight in the face and said, no, that's my thing with best friend number 1 to do. It's our thing, not for you. You're not going to do this with us. And I about lost it because I was like, what? What?
What?
I was so confused about the whole thing. I thought, isn't this an inclusive, situation, a company model, business model? I didn't understand it. And I was upset at the time. I'm clearly over it now, but it really has since made me reflect on, when people have just a really scarcity mindset, she didn't understand that there's enough abundance. There's enough goodness. There's enough success
all over
for all of us to be successful. And the funny thing is neither of those best friends are in the business anymore. And I held the vision this whole time, and I decided to not let other people's opinion stop my vision for myself and my family. And I look back and I'm like, what if I would have listened to someone else's opinion on my life?
And you're like, okay, I won't do it. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on your toes.
No, think about all of the lives I would have missed helping and changing. And, and I just think like, thank goodness I held strong to my vision. And I want to share that with others to like hold strong to your vision, no matter what other people think, even if they are the people closest to you.
That's so true. Because people, I talked about this, people, they don't like, a lot of friends, and I have a lot of people close to me, they liked it when I was not doing well. You know what I mean? Or I was struggling, because it made them feel a little bit better about it.
Have you heard the crab in the bucket analogy of, they want to grab the crabs in the bucket, right? They won't escape.
They can't escape.
They'll pull each other down.
And when I was thriving, no one called me and was like, oh, hey, you're thriving. Are you doing good? What's going on? No one did that. You know what I mean?
Because it makes them feel uncomfortable about their own potential for success that they're not going after. Right?
Yeah. So those are things I totally believe in. But I think that was such a blessing for you, because look at you now. Like, you know what I mean? Those things are, people would be like, that sucked. No, actually it really worked out.
There's been lots of people that have quit the business. There's been people that have, negative, naysayers. There's been things that I thought would go one way that went another way. But at the end of the day, I've realized like there's no like elevator to success. And so at every point of what I would consider maybe a breakdown or something that was like, oh my gosh, should I quit? Like, should I throw in the towel? What is this telling me? Some people would throw in the towel in those things. And some people would say, oh, this is, this is God, or this is the higher power or the universe telling me that I'm not meant to do this. When really like all of those hard seasons are just lessons. Like if you can learn something from it, it's not a failure. It's to teach you something you need to know for the next level of success.
Yeah, totally.
And so I'm so grateful that like I'm a lifer here. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm just so grateful that I've, been surrounded by a team of lifers also, that it's not necessarily about Arbonne specifically. It's a vehicle for me to get to where like I'm looking to go to, but it's more than that. It's the personal growth. It's the vision. It's it's bigger than that. Yeah. It's bigger than all of us individually.
Yes, I agree with that. And also when you said there's so much business out there for all of us.
There is.
Even if you're in another company, we can learn from each other. 100%. We can totally help each other.
Yes.
We can work together.
Yes.
We can collaborate together. That's what we need to remember, start remembering that. Okay. So mom.
Yes.
I know there's a lot of guilt, sometimes overwhelm. You're pulled in multiple directions. How do you handle that? Because there's so much mom guilt, out there, especially, I know you have your own business, but those that are even working moms, you feel guilty. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I think it, again, part of that is, making it worth it. Like I mentioned before, making all of my time very intentional. But I think one thing that I started doing a couple years ago that really helps a lot is wherever I am at the time, I am there, if that makes sense. Like I think so many of us, we carry our phones around and we're so addicted to our technology that's with us all the time. And even if our kids my kids don't have phones yet, but if our kids have, phones as well, then they're addicted to them as well. And just putting the phone away when it's my kids time, for my time with my kids, then I can put my phone down and even tell them like, okay, I'm going to set the timer for 45 minutes. And what do you want to do? Let's play whatever games you want to play. Like mommy is here. I'm not going to answer my phone. It's up on the counter. Or even we've had a little game of it where I'm like, here, you go hide my phone. So, mom's not going to be on the phone for 45 minutes. Right. And then now that timer is up, okay, mom needs a 30-minute time block where I'm going to get back to some emails, or I need to make a phone call, or I have a business, a Zoom I need to do. Like I need uninterrupted time with that. And so I need you guys to play, together.
It sounds like you're holding yourself accountable too. Like I'm not going to be on that phone.
Yeah. And so I need to create those times. My kids know, like when it's mom's time to work, they need to respect it, because I want them to also respect and enjoy the time that mom's fully present with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really do my best to do that. And it helps alleviate the mom guilt.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on trip with you and you miss your kids so much.
Of course, I do.
Like, I could tell you're like dying that you're not with them, and it's like it's so hard.
But I know what I'm giving them on the back end. Yeah, like I'm doing this for them.
And like, what advice would you give other single moms who want more flexibility, more time with their kids? What advice, like that one advice you would tell that mom?
Well, the first thing, and it's not just for single moms, but it very much applies to single moms. Yeah, I would look at your circle. Because those that they say you're the average of the 5 people that you are around, right? So are the people you're around also like deeply struggling? Are they negative? Are they in a scarcity mindset, or are they uplifting? Are they doing things you want to be doing? Are they inspiring you? Are they lifting you up? Like if you are the most successful person in the room, that room is not going to get you any higher than where you're at right now. You may bring them up to your level, but they're not going to help you really get much higher than that. They're not going to be able to give you that experience, that motivation, that inspiration, or just drive, right? And so I would take a look at your circle and try to surround yourself with other people or other women or other moms doing what you want to do. Yeah. And I really just feel like that's where it starts, right? Before any business or before any it
starts with your relationship.
Yeah, it really does. Like, who are you surrounding yourself by? And work on yourself. Like, personal growth is so big. For me, that's a lifelong, I think, process.
And you went through a divorce.
I did.
And, that too. Sometimes you have to make that decision. Yes. Is it working for you, for your family?
Yeah. So it was a not easy decision to make. Yeah. And there's been a lot there. But look at your relationships, definitely.
Oh, I agree with that. So I'm going to kind of shift to leadership. Yeah. So what does authentic leadership mean to you?
Going first.
Okay.
I think you have to go first. Yeah. Don't ask your team to do anything that you're not willing to do. Right. But also know that your team's never going to do more than you. So if you are,
that's so true.
If you are, putting out something for your team to do, then you should be doing more than that, right? And showing them the way, not as a competition thing, but more like showing them and leading from the front, giving them the inspiration to look, I'm in the trenches with you. Like, I'm not asking you to do anything I'm not willing to do. Yes, I think that's what authentic leadership is, and not just telling people what to do. And I'm going to sit back with my feet up.
That's a boss though. That's not a leader. Exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly. I mean, those are just people that have a title and they think they're.
It's true. Yeah. And some people get those confused.
And there's a lot out there. Yes.
Yes. I think true good leaders are someone that is willing to go first, willing to get, roll their sleeves up and get their hands dirty.
That's what I saw with Arbonne. For me, my experience is there were so many true leaders, authentic women that I met that were like, whoa, totally just wanted to be down there with you and talk to you. And I just love that, because you're right. There's so many bosses that just want to tell you what to do, and these are what you have to do at the end of the day. Here's your number. I want you to do this, and that's it. And not really talking to you with those conversations.
Yeah, I think it all starts with humility. You have to stay humble. To know that we all started the same in this business, and we all are on different paths. We all come into this business with different experiences, different strengths. So we're not going to have the same journey. We all
started in any business down at the bottom. I mean. I can't say all, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Nothing is handed,
totally
work for it.
Because you're a regional vice president, you're so successful right now in Arbonne, and you're going to get even higher than that.
That's right.
Yes, that's right. What I want to know is what are the qualities you look for in a future leader? Because you have a lot of people under you that you're guiding and you're mentoring. What are those qualities?
Yeah, I look for, there's a couple of things. In this business specifically, I look for people who understand, they want more. They don't even necessarily need to know what that exactly looks like yet, but they know that there's something that's not settled in them. They want more. They know that life is supposed to be more than maybe just the mediocrity, right? That society tells them they're good enough with.
Yeah.
So that's part of it, because that creates that internal drive. Someone that's a good just self-starter, has self-discipline, and someone that has a heart to serve, someone that wants to help people, and that, really does understand that I'm not just here to if someone only has say financial as a goal for them, and they don't care about helping people, they're not, they don't care about leading others or building a great life of design, that's probably not a great fit for what my team is. Just being honest.
Yeah.
So really having those qualities, I think, is what I look for. Notice that none of those things are, you have to look a certain way, act a certain way, start with a certain amount of money. You don't have to be in a certain circle. You don't have to be a certain age, none of that matters. To me, it's who are you as a person? Do you have an internal drive, some self-motivation, even if it's small to start? And then that,
So here's a question, because I know someone's going to be listening to this. They're on the hinge. Right. They want to do it.
Yeah.
But they're not sure. I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah.
But I really like what I'm seeing. I like the products. What would you tell that person that is not sure if they're a self-starter, not sure, you know what I mean? But they have that feeling that maybe this is going to be it for me.
I would say this is a Snickers decision, not a mortgage decision.
Totally.
Because this is there's no big investment like starting a business. A typical, say, brick and mortar, or any business for that matter, has, sometimes thousands or hundreds of thousands. You're not getting a loan at the bank to start this. It's what would it take for you to say yes and go in and just lean into being coachable and trying this and truly seeing what you are made of?
Yes.
It is amazing to watch people come alive to see what they're actually capable of.
Yes.
They don't know.
Yes.
So I would honestly say jump in, because what do you really have to lose? You're in the same position you're in right now. You don't have a huge financial commitment. You don't have, it's not a huge time commitment. You get to pick the time and the effort. And honestly, you're being coached and trained and led by others that have, already been to the successful levels of this business, teaching and training you. So, I would just do it.
Jump in.
Yeah.
Anyone listening, jump in.
Not mortgage.
Okay. So a lot of women, especially, we're still, confidence is there. It's not, right? Confidence is a big deal. It's hard. It's hard to build that confidence. How do you build confidence in your team?
Confidence is a gift you give yourself.
Okay.
Confidence is not something I can give you or anyone on the team, but I can say it comes from little steps of courage. And so by stepping out of those comfort zones that we all like to stay in.
Oh, yeah.
Little steps. It doesn't have to be, they can be, but it can be little steps of courage outside that comfort zone. And little by little, pretty soon you look back and go, wow, I've come really far, right?
Yeah.
And from where I started. And that creates confidence, is those little steps of courage. Now, I can be there to help encourage. I can be there to help inspire. I can be there to help kind of lay out the roadmap, but it has to be them that takes the steps to actually leave their comfort zone. My comfort zone is going to be different than yours or anyone else's. So what's comfortable for me might not be the same. So my, stepping out might be look totally different than yours. So it's just not exactly the same. I can't give that to anyone else, but I can help them along the way. I can work arm in arm with them. And I tell all my team, I will match you for every effort that you take. I am here linking arms with you. You're not in this alone.
Are.
You're not by yourself. And you have someone truly in this with you that cares about your success.
Yeah. People think confidence, you're fearless. I don't believe that. You can be confident with fear, and it's just how we deal with it, how we overcome it. But it's not being fearless in what you're doing. It's really just having that confidence to fight that fear and to get over, or not even get over it, just fight it, do what you're capable of doing. So if you can look back, what is that one lesson, that leadership lesson that took you a long time to learn?
I think it was really to stop caring so much what other people think. And even though that was part of my very first day here with this business, it's something that I've had to continue to learn because even, I'll be honest, even my ex was not super supportive.
Yeah.
And I had to deal with voices in my own home, in my own room, that were not always
And a lot
so
of
supportive.
us do. A lot of us have to too. Yeah.
And that can be really difficult. And so trust me, I get it. And I've been there. And I think just holding the vision for yourself, I feel like we know internally, sometimes it takes thought, prayer, journaling, meditation, you name it, maybe all of it, to really get to okay, what is meant for me? What is my next step? You may not have the 20-year vision, but what is my next step? And I feel just again, strong in my faith, I feel like God has shown me the next step all along the way. And I don't necessarily know 10 steps ahead, but I know where I'm overall getting. I don't necessarily know exactly how I'll get there, right? The day to day, but I know my next step. And I just keep going step to step.
Yeah, your faith is so powerful. I feel like that has worked for you so well.
It has been huge for me.
It is huge for you. And I've seen it.
It's why I'm sitting here right now.
I know. Your faith is amazing. It's just amazing. So what is that the mind shift change that changed everything for you, is just realizing that?
Yeah, I think just the letting go of other people's opinions when I've heard this before.
And that's when your mind starts shifting.
It did because I've heard it before. I think we all probably heard it. You can't let other people, think for you, or you can't let, someone else dictate your life. We can hear these things and then go in one ear and out the other, but really, truly, no one else is going to pay my bills. Yeah. No one else is showing up to rescue me from any negative situation. No one that is maybe saying a negative thing, whether it's on social media or a friend or a relative or whatever it is, none of them are offering to change any of the things they like to make comments about. So why do I put so much investment in what they think?
Right.
And so it really started, that was the shift for me, that I was it doesn't matter. And what's really funny is a lot of the naysayers back in the day are now customers now, or they're on my team. And
that's how it works, isn't it?
I was a naysayer in the beginning. Yeah. So why would I not expect to get naysayers?
Yeah.
Right?
I all started that way. I don't know about that. Yeah. No, that seems, so
it's to be expected.
That's expensive, or all the things. And now look,
yeah.
I think that you're so right on that, because with social media right now, with all the things, we even care about strangers, what they think. We're caring about the most minimal people, and we have to continue to have these conversations and remind people that it doesn't matter what people think. What matters is people around you that you love and care about, and have their opinions maybe, but it's you yourself, and God, and what, our faith too. It's just so important to believe in ourselves.
If you want no more criticism for the rest of your life, then do nothing. Say nothing.
Yeah.
Right? People are gonna say things if you're great, if you're terrible. People are gonna say things about you no matter what. So give them a show and live your life.
They're gonna, if you're happy, if you're sad, it doesn't. If you're loud, I said this in my last part. If you're loud or if you're quiet, it just doesn't matter.
People are gonna judge everything.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Absolutely. Okay, what do you do when your motivation is low?
You can't really live on motivation, honestly, because there is motivation will come and go every day.
Yeah.
I have to live on my commitments. So I've made commitments to my habits. I've made commitments to my routines. I've made commitments to my kids. When my motivation is low, let's be honest, more days it is not 100%. More days than not, right? So I have to kind of find that internal drive on certain days, but it's because of the commitment. So I don't expect motivation to be there every day either. So I'm not shocked when it's not there.
Yeah.
I just know the commitments I made, like today, these are the things I set out to do today, and those are what I'm doing, whether I feel like it or not. I feel like in today's world, we are talking so much about how everyone feels. If I don't feel like this, then do this. And if I don't feel like that, and then we should be allowed to do this or do that. Look, at the end of the day,
if we all did that, we would,
what are we going to do? You're not going to get very far in life if it's all based on our feelings and our emotions. Yeah. We need to let that go a little bit.
And it really, it's so much of that is happening. I feel like in the world right now, it's so much emotion, so many things. But if we really just live a purpose life and just do the things the hard things too.
That you committed to.
Yeah. I so agree with that.
Yeah.
So what does success mean to you today? right now?
Today. Oh, that's a great question. Success today is not necessarily, definitely different than a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But success today isn't so much about reaching a certain like income level or, some title or any of that. Success to me is a day that I can wake up and add value to my kids and other people on my team. Success is creating influence in a positive way in this world and giving back more than I've ever dreamed and imagined. Success to me is living my life truly by design and being able to pick and choose where and when I get to work and how I do it. That to me is success.
Yeah.
It's hard to measure, but it's more of a feeling than anything else. And I think that getting to that point in life, I'm more successful today than I've ever been.
You are, girl.
Because of those things I've made commitments to,
Yeah.
and I've worked really hard to get to this level. But what I do know is I'm not done yet, because I will have more to do. I have more people to help. I have more women and men to, offer this gift to.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of really important causes on my heart that I want to be able to give without looking at the bank account.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's so funny. I saw this Arbonne girl I follow. I forgot. She's like, I'm at this stage in life where I don't want to look at my bank. Like, I want to be so rich that I don't even have to look at my bank account. But then I also want to be so rich where I don't want to work, put the effort in. It's like I'm in this weird, and I'm like, same. I'm in this weird balance. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? So I have some rapid fire questions. So just real quick answers, and I have one closing question. Okay, coffee or energy fizz?
Energy fizz.
Duh. Okay, morning routine or evening routine?
Morning routine.
Perfect. Favorite personal development book? You have so many.
Miracle Morning or Draw the Circle.
Okay. One word that describes your leadership style?
Authentic.
Biggest lesson motherhood has taught you?
Intentionality.
What's one thing you tell your younger self?
Stay strong.
Okay. I love it. Okay. One last question. If there's a single mom listening right now who feels stuck and uncertain about her future, what would you want her to hear from you today?
Ooh, try not to get emotional, son. That things are going to get better. Your hard right now is not always going to be your hard. And there's a beautiful light ahead of you. Just keep going.
Stop it. That's such a good answer. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for
I love
having
you
me.
so much.
I love
think
you,
you're
girl.
so great. I'm really excited for you. I'm excited for your future. I'm excited for Tennessee.
Oh my gosh, can't wait.
I know this is not the last, you'll be back, but
Yes.
I think you're going to do great. You're just so
Thank
great.
you.
Okay.
I know we will.
You're welcome.